ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं वादरायणं सूत्रभाष्य कृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। वर्ष नंबर 334। यति रसद अनुसंधिं बंधहितुं विहाय स्वयं अयम अहम अस्मि इति आत्मदृष्ट्यैव तिष्ठेत सुखयति तनु ननु निष्ठा ब्रह्मणि स्वानुभूत्या हरति परम अविद्या कार्य दुःखम प्रतीत। आई रिपीट वन मोर टाइम। यति रसद अनुसंधिं बंधहितुं विहाय स्वयं अयम अहम अस्मि इति आत्मदृष्ट्यैव तिष्ठेत सुखयति ननु निष्ठा ब्रह्मणि स्वानुभूत्या हरति परम अविद्या कार्य दुःखम प्रतीतम। The translation is, the yati should give up dwelling on the unreal which causes bondage and should always remain steadfast with thoughts fixed on the self, thinking I am this. For steadfastness in Brahman, gained through the realization of one's identity with it, gives rise to bliss and thoroughly removes the misery born of ignorance, which one experiences in the state of ignorance. Say the one more time translation. The sannyasin should give up dwelling on the unreal, which causes bondage, and should always fix his thoughts on the Atman as I myself am this. For the steadfastness in Brahman, through the realization of one's identity with it, gives rise to bliss and thoroughly removes the misery born of ignorance, which one experiences in ignorant state. Thoughts are continued. Shankaracharya says, Yati. Yati asat anubandhim bandhahetum vihaya. The yati means who is striving. Striving. For yati, one thing has to be done. He should give up thinking of unreal objects. Unreal objects thinking is for bondage. The interesting thing is that which does not exist itself, that is cause for misery. Now see, yati striver, always striving. Everyone is striving in this world. But Shankaracharya addresses his disciple as a yati, who is striving for liberation. The most important thing is for him thinking. Thinking makes differences. Thinking gives miseries. Thinking gives happiness. Thinking gives bondage. And thinking gives liberation. Everything is because of your thought. Thinking of reality will give happiness. Thinking of unreality is cause for miseries. Very simple. Very simple. So Shankaracharya says, you have to make two divisions, real and unreal. Real, it exists. Unreal just appears. It does not. Just appearance, just shadow. So Shankaracharya says, give up the thinking of unreal. They are not. They are absolutely nothing. If they are not anywhere, if they are not exists, how can we attain them? They will not crunch our thirst. Imaginary objects could be in our imaginations, but they are not real. We are imposing them. Their existence is in our imagination, our minds. So Shankaracharya says, Anushandhim. Anushandhim, the translation is thinking. When we think about unreal, it will give what? Bandha hetum. It will give you just, bandha means bondage. Bondage just not means only bondage. It means miseries. It means death. It means anger, greed, everything. So he says, thinking about unrealities, it will give you always miseries. So just forget it, and accept reality. What reality is? Here, two things we have to understood. Accept reality. Whatever it is, Vedanta is very clear view. Vedanta has very clear view. Vedanta says, don't imagine. Accept reality as it is. Whatever reality is, accept. Whatever reality will come, I will accept. Then try to understand what reality is. First, make up your mind. I will accept reality. Whatever will come, I will accept reality. Don't imagine. Don't be prejudiced. Be ready. Whatever reality is, I accept. It may take some time, but you will get rich. You try, then ultimately you will get reality. You will come to know what reality is. When you ponder in this matter, slowly you will come to know the reality is only consciousness. Swayam aham asmi iti atma drishtaiva tishteta. He says, just leave all imaginations. Be ready. Whatever reality is, I am ready to accept. And then discover. Then start searching. You will encounter. The reality is consciousness. Objects, just appearance in other form of consciousness. The consciousness is the reality, which is absolute everywhere, and that reality and you are not separate. But we do not feel happiness it's. The question is, if that reality, consciousness, I am, both are not separate, then I should be blissful in every time state of happiness, but I am not. Shankaracharya gives its reply. He says, ye are consciousness, no doubt. But to experience this happiness, only condition is when you will make this knowledge your own knowledge. Whatever knowledge is given by Guru, Guru is giving knowledge. Scriptures also always saying the supreme authority is Sat Chit Ananda. So knowledge is being given by scriptures, by masters, and I also know it. But it must be your own experience. Then it will produce its fruit. Sukhayatinanu nishtha brahmani swanubhutya. Very important word. He's saying you have to make this knowledge your own knowledge. Like if someone goes to doctor and doctor gives some medicine for sick person and says, you take it. And the person comes to home. After 2 or 3 days, he go back to doctors and says, no, I am not recovering. Still, I am the same condition. Then doctor says, I have given medicine to you. Have you taken? He says, no, I have medicine, but I don't take it. I have. So only having medicine will not cure you. Possession of the medicine will not work. We have to take it. Same. Sukhayatinanu nishtha brahmani swanubhutya. Very important word is swanubhutya, your own experience. Whatever knowledge has been said in the scriptures, said by the great masters, you make it your own knowledge. You test it. You realize it. Otherwise, you may be knowledgeable. Knowledge is with master. Knowledge is with scriptures, but it is not working for us. Swanubhutya, then rati param avidya karya dukkham pratitam. Shankaracharya says, dukkham, miseries. What is the cause of misery? What is the cause of misery? There are unlimited causes of misery, according to us. Everyone is a cause for misery. You are cause for misery, for my misery. I may be cause for your misery. Everyone is cause for miseries. But see, the thinking of Vedanta. Vedanta says, Shankaracharya says, the cause of the misery, only one thing is avidya, ignorance. Ignorance, the main cause of miseries. So just destroy it. Swanubhutya, when you experience the Brahman, Atman, then this ignorance will destroy and you will take happiness. Next one. Bahya anusandhim परिवर्धयेत् फलम दुर्वासनामेव ततस्ततोधिकम ज्ञात्वा विवेकै परिहृत्य बाह्यम सात्मानुसंधिं विदधीत नित्यम. I repeat one more time. बाह्यानुसंधि परिवर्धयेत् फलम दुर्वासनामेव ततस्ततोधिकम ज्ञात्वा विवेकै परिहृत्य बाह्यम सात्मानुसंधिं विदधीत नित्यम. See the translation. Constant contemplation upon the external objects will only intensify their fruits in the form of evil propensitives, which grow from bad to worse. Knowing this, through the discrimination, one should leave the thoughts of external objects and constantly apply oneself to the contemplation of the self. See the one more time. The dwelling on external objects will only intensify its fruits in the form of propensities, which grow worse and worse. Knowing this, through discrimination, one should avoid the thought of external objects and constantly apply oneself to meditation on the Atman. Thought is same. As you think, you become so. Shankaracharya says, the half part of this verse says what we should not think. And another part says what we should think. Two parts in this verse. Very simple way. We should not ponder about unreality. We think unreal as a real. If you think unreal as a real, then what will happen? Parivardayet phalam. It intensifies your thoughts. We start just with one thought. When one thought is complete, this thought will produce 10 more thoughts. Then the thought will complete. They produce 100 thoughts. And its result. We think objects unreal as a real, and this never will happen. Unreal is always unreal. If we think about objects, it will grow. It will not stop anywhere. It is an endless process. Imaginary world. It will go bad, worse, and worst. The net of the thoughts We are doing always same thing, same thought. So its result is nothing. If we think about nothingness, if we think about shadow, if we think about just imaginary worlds, it will not give you happiness. It will not give you expected fruits. And obviously, we want happiness from everywhere. Our one demand is everywhere we are begging happiness. Everywhere, without thinking. They may give, they may not. We are begging like a beggar. Give us happiness. Any person, I started begging. Give me happiness. Any object, any condition, any situation, our one demand is always in deep down, and that is happiness. If your object is not real, if the person is not real, then happiness is not going to happen. Try again and again, same results coming. But we are trying always. Shankaracharya says, Bahyanusandhim parivardayit. Durvasanan nev tatastatodikam. We have to divide all things in two parts. One is part is you, another is your opposite. Your opposite is worlds. We can say that object and subject, all is objects except you. Other than you is object, and you are the subject. Shankaracharya says, two words in this verse you have to remember always: Bahyanusandhi, Atmanusandhi. Anusandhi means thought. When you think outside, when we think other than us, when you think other than you, this is Bahyanusandhi. The object of the thinking is other than you. Shankaracharya says, is Bahyanusandhi. If object is you itself, your thinking, it is Atmanusandhi. So he says, if someone think about other than their self, then Durvasanam. Durvasana means miseries. Miseries will increase. No one can stop. We think about other than us, miseries will bound to happen. Adhikam, more and more and more and more, endlessly. So he says, Gyatva vivekai parirtevayam. So Shankaracharya says, stop yourself and see deep thinking of the Vedanta. Vedanta does not say just stop your thought. Actually, it's not possible. We are going wrong way. When we say thoughtlessness, very big word, very beautiful word. All over the world, everyone is making effort for becoming thoughtlessness. Thoughtlessness. But Vedanta does not believe in such impossible things. Vedanta says, stop, think, and just take U-turn. Take U-turn. Make you correct yourself. Gyatva vivekai parirthevaya. Stop for some time and just start thinking about U-turn. You correct yourself. By proper understanding, we can change ourselves. Our thought was towards objects. Now, just take U-turn and make them towards subject. This subjective thought is Atmanusandham. Atmanusandhim. If you think unreal objects about unreal objects, they're not going to becoming real. If we think continuously about any imaginary thing, continuously I'm thinking, be sure it will not going to be reality. It is imaginary, it is imaginary. It is not going to happen reality. It is not possible. If it had happened, the bodily objects would have been real, but they are not. We have been thinking objective reality always, but they have not changed their nature. So, Sankaracharya says, Gyatva Vivekai, just for some time, for a little time, just giving just direct orders. It's giving just direct orders. Vidadhit. Do that. Nityam every time. Because the mind is very used to go in the objective world. Our practices, our spiritual practices to take back mind. In Gita, Lord Sri Krishna says, Yato yato nischarati mana chanchalam astiram tatastato niyameta. So all Sri Krishna says, Arjuna, mind will go as usual. As usual. In objective words. But be alert and take him back and put it with the soul. Tato tato niyameta. Vidadhita. Slowly, slowly, when you are in meditation, you are trying to putting your mind on the consciousness, any particular object. But mind is mind. It does not listen to you. Immediately, you don't know where he has gone. It is going to happen. Don't worry. Sri Krishna says, be alert and take mind from there and say, no, come here. Vidadhita nityam. Nityam every day. This is your practical practice, spiritual practice. Mind will go to objective world. Our work is to take back mind into ourselves and put with a soul. Vidadhita nityam. Now next one. Bahye niruddhe manasha prasannata mana prasade paramatma darshanam tasmin sudrishte bhavabandhanaso bahirnirodha padavi vimukte. I repeat one more time. Bahye niruddhe manasha prasannata mana prasade paramatma darshanam tasmin sudrishte bhavabandhanaso bahirnirodha padavi vimukte. The translation is, when the objective world is shut out, the mind becomes quiet, and in the quiet mind arises the vision of the Supreme Self. When that is perfectly realized, boundaries to the world of becoming is destroyed. Hence, the cessation of the external world is the initial step on the path to liberation. See the translation one more time. When the external world is shut out, the mind is cheerful. Cheerfulness of the mind brings on the vision of the Param Atman. When he is perfectly realized, the chain of birth and death is broken. Hence, the setting out of the external world is stepping stone to liberation. Very beautiful verse. Very beautiful. Shankaracharya is giving direction. Very, very small things. When you take this journey, when we will in journey of spiritual, these steps will come in your life, in your journey. Very, very beautiful. He says, Bahye niruddhe manasha prasada. Thought is same, just verse has changed. Thought is same. Previous thought, he says, control your mind, take your mind from the object and put it into soul self. When a seeker starts controlling his mind from extrovert, he utterly diverts it direction of the mind towards introvert. Thinking continue. I repeat again. Vedanta does not say, stop your thinking. Vedanta is not saying you become unconscious. You suppress your mind. No. Take benefit of the mind. He says, just take U-turn from unreal to real, from object to subject, and begins completely on the inner self. The first time, mind will taste the reality, which mind was searching everywhere, but mind did not get any reality. See, when we take minds back and we put it into soul, this is a spiritual practice. You are going towards spiritual. You are going towards spirit, towards consciousness. So this was a struggle, fighting between you and your mind. Fighting was going on. You wanted your mind should be meditate with consciousness, but mind is outside. So fighting was going on. Now slowly, your mind, because of your hard effort, started taking interest in soul also. Because mind was running outside, but he has not got anything, just unreality. Any intellect person can think everything is unreal, nothing permanent. And see, everyone loves truth. Everyone loves reality. Our mind too. Mind was looking truth in objective words. Mind never find any reality. So our intellect has lost faith in truth. Because our intellect, our mind, they did not find any reality, any supreme reality. The decision was taken by intellect. There is no truth. No Paramatman. Because Paramatman is absolute truth. And mind was right. Because mind did not know about any reality. See, if someone says there is no God, but there are so many people, they always say there is no God. No God. They are right. Because they do not have any experience about God, about truth, even a glimpse. So how could they believe truth was hidden somewhere else? Mind was searching somewhere else. So they never meet. Mind does not have any meeting with truth. Our intellect searching reality in outside again and again. So they do not have any experience of truth. So they do not have any faith in scriptures. If someone does not have faith in scriptures or in great masters, for them there is no God. Yes, they are right. If someone has faith in scriptures, in great masters, then he says, yes, God is. Because scriptures are saying, I do not know directly. I may know in future. I am trying my best. But if scriptures are saying there is God, then there is God. My master is saying there is God, then God is there. But those don't have belief in scriptures, don't have belief in masters, and they have no any experience themselves, for them, God is not there. If they say God is there, they are telling lie. Mind did not know about subjective words. Mind never thought about this word. So Shankaracharya says, Bahye Nuruddhe Manasha Prasadat. When as a seeker, you start controlling mind, and not just controlling mind, give another way for thinking. Like mind is like a force, like a current of water. One door you have to shut and another you have to open. So mind is energy, a power. You cannot control. You can divert it. So as a seeker, you have to control one gate, one channel going towards the objective world, but we have to give a way to mind, and it is the way to self. Slowly, Shankaracharya says, now, mana prasadam. Slowly, mind becomes used to, and it gets tasting happiness. Mind becomes happy. Mind gets some reality in the soul, in the inner world. The reality mind was looking outside, he never finds. And if mind finds some reality, some happiness, then Shankaracharya says it becomes quiet. 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 Thoughtlessness automatically will happen. You put the mind into self, mind is ready to die in self. Mind becomes quiet. The one can experience absolute reality. If mind is quiet, mind is restlessness, there are so many words to state this condition of the mind. Now you can say mindless, you can say thoughtlessness, you can say samadhi. There are so many words. In this state, in this beginning, the mind gets sometimes glimpses. It is very new to the mind. It is experienced by mind. Mind becomes very, very happy. And if we keep practicing our sadhana, then it gets more stability. When one gets more closeness to the truth, Shankaracharya says, mana prasade paramatma darshana. Very beautiful word. When your mind is prasad, quiet, divine gift. Do you know what mean of prasad? When we go to temple and priest gives us something as a prasad. Prasad means the gift from the God. For this prasad, you have not done anything. It is a prasad, God's grace, God's grace. Mana prasada, the mind is the prasad, the grace of the gods. Now this, your mind is grace of the God. Paramatma darshanam, then realization will happen. Then realization will happen. Paramatma darshanam. The inner happiness starts happening. Then, tasmin sudrishte bhavabandhanaso. After this realization, all dependencies will end. Your existence does not require any support. You have known your freedom, which was snatched by ignorance. We were dependent on the objects. We were thinking the happiness is outside. Now you are free. Your freedom is from all objects. Freedom from all. You can declare your freedom. I do not want anything. Shankaracharya says, Bahya niruddhe param padabi muktehe. Freedom from all is the liberation. Liberation is what? Freedom from the all. Next verse. Today I will take 5 verses. का पंडितासन सदसद विवेकी श्रुति प्रमाणा परमार्थदर्शी जानन ही कुरिया रसतोबलंबम स्वपात हेतु शिशुवन मुमुक्षो. I repeat one more time. का पंडितासन सदसद विवेकी श्रुति प्रमाणा परमार्थदर्शी जानन ही कुरियात असतोबलंबम स्वपात हेतु शिशुवन मुमुक्षो. The meaning is, who being learned, able to discriminate between the real and unreal, believing the Vedas as authority, fixing his gaze upon the self, the supreme reality, and being a seeker after liberation, will like a child consciously run after the unreal, which will surely be the cause of one's downfall. One more time. Where is the man who, being learned, able to discriminate the real from the unreal, believing the Vedas as authority, realizing the Atman, the supreme reality, and being seeker after liberation, will, like a child, consciously have recourse of the unreal universe, which we call cause is for. Ka Panditasan. Here, Shankaracharya is giving definition of a real eligible seeker. An eligible seeker will not take path of unreal. The seeker who is qualified for liberation cannot be attempt by objects. Here he is giving some qualifications for liberation. First is Sadsad Viveki. Sadsad Viveki. Very important word. Sad Asad Viveki. Sad means real, Asad means unreal, Viveki means knower. Who knows what is real and what is unreal. Sadsad Viveki. So first thing is, the seeker should be the knower of the real and unreal. Real means the consciousness, unreal other than consciousness. Another thing is Shruti Pramana. Shruti Pramana. Shruti means the Ved, scriptures. So one must have faith in scriptures. They are the foundation of a spiritual path. Deep faith in scriptures will make our spiritual journey easy. They will guide us every moment. The field of spiritual is utterly unknown. Only scriptures can give right directions. So one must have faith in scriptures as a supreme authority. And Paramarthadarshi. Paramarthadarshi, he is giving word Paramarthadarshi. Darshi means watch. Darsh. As witness. When we witness anything directly, as I see this is the book, so there is no doubt. This is the chairs. I know. This is the chairs. This is the black chair. Right, white chairs. Because I see. When we see directly, then we have no doubt. We have faith in our sense organs. Same Shankaracharya says, Paramartha Darshi, the one who is watcher of, who is a witness of Param Arth. Arth means reality, meaning. Param means absolute. Who is the witness of absolute reality? Experiencer. Experienced. We have believed that our eyes will see truth. Same, having studied scriptures, then we have to digest it. It has to be assimilated. When someone realizes the truth, he experiences whatever has been said in the scriptures directly. Like our eyes give report to the mind. Our ears give report to the mind. Every sense organs, they doing afterward their job, they give report to the mind, then lastly mind will take decision. What is not. Decision has to be taken by mind, not by sense organs. So when we study in scriptures, listen a master, and finally your mind will take decision, your intellect will take decision. This is the right. Darshi means, that is why in scriptures are written, Atma vari dashtavya, srotavya, mantavya. You see, direct experience it. So Paramartha Darshi, this sadhak will not do any such activity which will lead this sadhak to the world like a ignorant. Shishu means ignorant person who does not know anything. So this type seeker, advanced seeker, will not take any activity like such. We will lead this sadhak to the world. Now, last one. Dehadi sansakti mato na mukti muktasya dehadya abhimatya bhavaha suptasya no jagranam na jagratah supnah tayo bhinna gunashrayatvat. I repeat one more time. Dehadi sansikti mato na muktihi muktasya dehadya abhimatya bhavaha suptasya no jagranam na jagratah supnah tayo bhinna gunashrayatvat. Translation is, there is no liberation for the one who is attached to the body, etc. And the liberated person has no identification with the body, etc. One who is asleep is not awake, and one who is awake does not dream. For these two are opposite in nature. Now, he is giving a parameter for only for yourself, not for others. So don't try to others is realized person or not. Just try with yourself. Shankaracharya is giving some parameters, some indications. You can test yourself. So he is making very clear to everyone, do not caught in the trap of misunderstanding. You may know yourself where you are. So you can apply these parameters. He says, if someone has attachment with the body and other objects, that person is not realized. There is no attachment. If someone is attached with the body and other objects, this person is not realized person. This person has no any taste of the soul. Dehadi matona mukti. And if some person is realized, then he does not have any attachment with the body and other objects. See, he's saying about attachment, not about the body. Thinker of the body will get body again and again. The one who has realization, they have attachment with soul. They have taste of reality. And having tested this wonderful experience, their interest in objective world will end. They do not have any attachment with the world. Like one time simultaneously, you cannot see two things. Either you can see the movie or you can see the screen. Simultaneously, we cannot see movie and the screen together. He's giving an example. Shuptasya no jagaranam na jagrata. Like a person is a waking state. He cannot experience the dream state. If someone is in dream state, he cannot experience the waking state. The both conditions could not be possible in same state. They are very different. If you are sleeping, you are not waking. If you are waking, you are not sleeping. Same, if you are realized, then you have to lost your interest in the world. If you are a worldly person, it means you don't have any experience of the world. Soul. So Shankaracharya is making very clear here that if someone is realized, the attachment of the world, attachment of the body will end. And the interesting thing is, when all attachment will destroy and happiness begins. The same world will give you happiness. The quality of the world will change. The quality of the objects will change. They will start give you happiness, real happiness. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasisyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Vadarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Isharo Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.